And welcome to another California Guy video with your boy California Guy. What's up, everybody, and welcome to this video. This video is going to be a commentary on Bill Maher, Jason Whitlock, and just the stuff that's been going on the last week or two that's had Black America talking. Now, Jason Whitlock, I start with him, is a coon. He's just a flat out coon. And I know it's a pattern with black people that participate in the sports genre, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, etc., whether they do it sports or they're commentators, and that they coon out. Now, with sports, and shout out to Tariq Nasheed because he pointed this out last night on his radio show, and people should check it out. White black people naive to white supremacy. Jason Whitlock is a product, like Stephen H. Smith, of white supremacy. Because when you work for the NFL, they have advertisers and different people who pull the strings. A lot of the owners are racist. And so it trickles down into ESPN and Sports Center and all these different sports columnists. And so basically, if you're a sports journalist and you're black, and the question of race comes up, then automatically, boom, you have to say the right thing. And then in Whitlock's case, he didn't say the right thing. What Jason Whitlock did was he cooned out. He said something about racism being socio-economic babble, is what he said up in the video. Now, there's proof what he said is absolutely not true. Because again, LeBron James, and I did a video on it, so I'm not going to spend too much time on LeBron James. But LeBron James his house was spray painted the word nigger, and LeBron made the infamous speech that he's black and and he's getting targeted no matter how much money he has. Whereas Jason Whitlock's response is that racism is not is targeted towards people that's poor, that's black, I guess, or minority. And that's absolute babble. And his facts is not even right. And in fact, you'll have to be a big educated person to know this. Ever since slavery, and I'm going to do a brief synopsis real quick. Ever since slavery and the ending of slavery, Jim Crow era, going into that era, the reason why a lot of African Americans were targeted so hard was over the economy. Facts. When slavery ended and we had Reconstruction period, there were 3 periods in Black America where we were thriving, and Reconstruction was one of those periods. A lot of the African Americans at the time of slaves, they started to buy farms for cheap through the Freedmen's Bureau. So a lot of those organizations, the federal government started helping a lot of African Americans to obtain jobs through the federal government, and a lot of them worked it, and they became middle class, and they were able to buy plantations, which black people making money led to the creation of the KKK during the Reconstruction era. That's why they didn't want blacks voting. Blacks were starting to be in the politics. They were starting to make money. They were not poor. So, Jason Whitlock's facts is absolutely wrong. That's what led to the Jim Crow laws, because blacks were making money. Each time a black man was kind of successful in towns, small southern towns, they would burn down. A lot of their businesses or places had to go if they were competing against a white establishment. And these are facts. Again, this is simple stuff. And when you're a coon, you tend to babble, because that's coon babble. So Jason Whitlock, he basically didn't have his facts together. Yeah, Black Wall Street, where blacks were millionaires, they burnt that down. They torched that. So again, there's been many instances, and I can't go through every one of them because it's video, because of time length. But if you guys do a Google search of Black history, Black American history, they're not Black history always, but this Black American history during slavery and after slavery, you will see in many instances that African Americans were targeted based on money, and especially if they were making more money than white Americans. So it had nothing to do with poverty or rich, because when you're in a state of white supremacy, it doesn't discriminate against poverty or rich. You're just black. They don't give a fuck about Oprah Winfrey. Oprah is black. She's a black woman. They will treat Oprah racist, and they have done it before. They followed Oprah in stores, and she had a TV show. So Jason Whitlock needs to put a sock in his cool mouth, basically. I'm gonna move on to Bill Maher real quick because Bill Maher, I don't think I did a video. I meant to check. You guys leave a comment if I did, but I've been looking at the fallout from Bill Maher. Now, Bill Maher, and I followed Bill Maher for a lot of years. I followed him since Politically Incorrect. I've read various books of Bill Maher's. I've even went to the movies and seen Religious back into 2000. I used to be a major follower of Bill Maher. Um, Bill Maher, I've always had a love-hate relationship with like certain comedian liberals, like activists, because part of them, he's always was very sarcastic when it came to black people. Even though he had the black girlfriends, which a lot of YouTubers discuss, he had the black woman and smoked weed with black celebrities, yada yada yada. But I don't know if he was trying to be funny or did he know what a house Negro was. The audience laughed at it. The people was cracking up until it was a fallout through media, kind of in the same way as George Lopez and Michael Kramer that played in Seinfeld, Michael Richards. It was the same thing with them. They had major fallouts due to racially charged material. Now, I'm a proponent for free speech in comedy, and I'm a big proponent of that satire because I do videos and I believe in free speech. So I think that but it's a difference between free speech and throwing shots though at the same time, because comedy at the end of the day, it tells you truths. Comedy. You got people like not Bill Cosby, Dick Gregory, Chris Rock, and Dave Chappelle, Richard Pryor, many of the comedians who have done racially charged material, but was telling some truths to their material. Whereas Bill Maher, it seems like he was making fun of the black experience when he said what he said about the house Negro. Now everybody knows the house Negro was the slave that tended to house duties, and I don't want black people and even white people that listen to this video to get this twisted. The house slave had it very hard. It was very hard to be in the house because that was where black women were getting raped at mainly. That was the target. Most black women wanted to work in the fields, not inside the home, because again, they did not want to get raped. Black men, got watched. Certain slaves were watched. So a lot of meetings took place in the fields. It wasn't per se that blacks didn't want to work. You got to be out in the fields, and that was a way to escape where you was trapped in the house. So he doesn't really know his black history. He's a snide Jew at the end of at best. So that was a Jew joke that he was throwing at black people. Now, a lot of these black people were angry with Bill Maher, but not angry with George Lopez. George Lopez said to me for worse, but again, these guys are using comedy to push a racial narrative against black men. And it shows black men how they're looked at amongst different cultures, different races of other men of other nationalities. You're looked at basically as a nigger, basically as a nothing, basically. It's up to black men to uplift themselves and protect their communities. Shout out to the black celebrities that's calling out Bill Maher, because Bill Maher deserves it. Because I've heard Bill Maher on several instances before he said house Negroes say indirect racist shit. I've seen material where he has said indirect racist stuff. His old show, Politically Incorrect, he has said indirect racist stuff. He threw it slightly through. He slid it through. So black people got to look out for these coded languages and slid it. These snide, sarcastic comments, and it brings me to like people like Geraldo Rivera. You guys got to be careful, because I remember when black people used to like Geraldo Rivera for years. And he turned to be a straight up white supremacist Puerto Rican, honorary one. So you guys got to be careful of who's cool just because they're dating African American individuals, or they're fucking them and they like your music or some element of your culture. You got to still look beyond that point. Look at your color of your skin and how you're treated. So that's the thing with Bill Maher and Jason Whitlock. I just thought to put that commentary out here, give an opinion. Like and share this video, people. Peace out.